Hello and welcome back to Tungsten Tales. Finally we've got competitive darts back with the PDC Summer Series. Today was day one of 5 one-day events. £10,000, the jackpot to the winner, £50,000 up for grabs. And it's been absolutely magnificent. It's been everything you expect of a Pro Tour event and more. We've got a new champion for the year, although he has won many events, I'm sure, as you'll know if you do know who has won the event today. But we're here to run you through very quickly some of the stats and the figures and some of the stories throughout the day in Milton Keynes. We'll have a quick look at the early rounds. There were some big averages in the opening rounds, plenty of 100+ averages. One of the biggest casualties, with the biggest average anyway, was Boris Kreshmar. He was scheduled to play on the stream board. Unfortunately, that wasn't able to happen because of some technical issues. We averaged 106 in losing to Rob Cross in the first round. We also saw some fairly major casualties in the early couple of rounds. Gary Anderson averaged fairly low in his first game to Matt Clark, and Adrian Lewis went out in the first round as well. We've seen how much weight Adrian's lost in the last 3 or 4 months of lockdown. He lost to Eddie Lovely, who actually I believe went on to the last 16 and faced Krzysztof Ratajski there. The likes of Michael Van Gerwen, your Peter Wrights, your Glenn Durrants, they all made it through the first round with relatively little fuss. But there were definitely some shocks in those early rounds, as you would expect after so much time away from competitive darts. As you look a bit further down, you've got the likes of Krzysztof Ratajski. He was absolutely superb, averaged 107 in one game, and defeated Krzysztof Chuk with that 107 average, his fellow Pole. And I was actually one of the standout players of the day. Obviously we've got 4 days left, and I feel like Ratajski might want to be the names to win one of those 4 events, if not make a final. So I definitely want to have a quick look at there. I mentioned Eddie Lovely just earlier on, just about a minute or so ago. Some of the scalps that he claimed, of course, he's come from the Challenged Order of Merit, replaced one of the 11 players that couldn't make Milton Keynes for the Summer Series. He defeated Adrian Lewis 6-1 in round 1, Gavin Carling 6-3 in round 2, and then Michael Smith in round 3, eventually losing, of course, to Krzysztof Ratajski, as I mentioned. Some superb darts overall. I mean, we had Michael Van Gerwen, was 1 away from the perfect leg. The standard was hardly hindered at all by the social distancing measures that were put in place, and I feel like it was an absolutely perfect way to kick off the return of live darts. So many of the top players performed to the level we know we can. There were shocks, as you'd expect, and it all went to a final that could have been really written in the stars, to be honest. Of course, the world number 1 and the best player in the world, Michael Van Gerwen, against the current reigning world champion and probably the second best player in the world at the moment, Peter Wright. And their routes to the final were as follows. Peter Wright 6-5 over Ron Moulenkamp, 6-4 over Dirk Telnekis, 6-3 over James Wilson, 6-2 over Rob Cross, 6-4 over Glenn Durrant with a 108 average, and then 7-2 over Ratajski with a 105.8. And then Michael Van Gerwen in his run beat Kieran Tian 6-1, William Borland 6-5. Borland actually had a shot at tops to knock Michaal Van Gerwen out in the second round there. Beat Callum Ridds 6-4 with a 106.2 average. Beat Jamie Hughes 6-1, 6-0 win over Danny Nopper in the quarterfinals, and then semi-final win 7-3 over Gabriel Clements with a 106.8. And then, of course, to the final, Michael Van Gerwen versus Peter Wright, and it was Michael Van Gerwen that came out on top on this occasion. It's a game we've seen many times before in major finals, in Pro Tour events, and of course a World Championship final back on January the 1st, which Peter Wright came out on top on that occasion. And Michael Van Gerwen, it went to the form, but he averaged 104.5 in that match and 100.5 for Peter Wright. Peter had outshots of 112, he had a 99, which actually gave him a 7-5 lead in that match. But it was Michael Van Gerwen who came out the winner, and what a superb final it was. We've got 4 more days of action down at the Marshall Arena in Milton Keynes. We'll have any breaking news, any stories that come from the MK Arena, and of course roundups of the Summer Series events every single day on Tungsten Tales. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and make sure to share this content around so everybody can see what brilliant darts is going on at the moment. The return of live darts is happening right now with the PDC Summer Series, and it's all covered here on Tungsten Tales.